All right, well, here we are again, another couch talk. Unfortunately, this week didn't go as we had hoped. I remember sitting here last weekend on the couch and thinking, we're $400 away from passing this challenge. I cannot wait for next weekend to be like, we passed, let's go. However, that didn't work out. It was a culmination of a few things for me this week. I sat here and said I wasn't going to trade any differently. However, at some point this past week, that changed. On Tuesday, I faced a technical glitch that caused me to lose a trade, which is fine. That'll happen. I got to write that off. Later in that session, I took a reversal trade that didn't work out. That's totally fine. That'll happen. Traded a system. It didn't work that time. I'm down 2 trades on this day, and it sucks, but it is what it is. However, something in me says my system's no longer working. I need to change it. After 2 trades of going about 2-3 weeks in a row of winning, 2 trades maybe changed my system. I went back to trading on a stream with my friend, and shout out to him. He's a great trader. He trades a little bit differently than I do. And I know that for myself, I need to be secluded alone while I trade. I can't trade being influenced by other people because I'll make mistakes. I'll maybe take things that they take that I wouldn't. And that's what had happened. He avoided a trade because it didn't fit his system, but that trade I would have taken, seen so many of those plays work out. This was a great trade for my system. It went 1-3, 1-4, beautiful trade. I was out of it. However, later that session, I took a trade that he takes because it's part of his system. That trade ended up losing. And again, that's totally okay. It fits his playbook. It doesn't fit mine. These are emotional mistakes. These are the mistakes that add pressure and just crush us in the long run. I took 2 more trades throughout the week and all of them lost. I think out of the 4 trades I took, 2 of them were system trades. So 50%, I could have eliminated 50% of my losses. I'm still okay with those 2 losses, but the 2 emotional decision-making trades I took, I'm not okay with. I took 4 full losses this week, and that absolutely killed me. We still have the account. We're still rolling. I'm still hammering away at this, but it's demoralizing. But it's important that we go into next week not hung up on last week, not excited to pass a challenge because we don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, to pass the challenge, it might take 4 or 5 more trades, even though it was a few $100s away from passing. And here we are. We're in that boat. It might take me 4 or 5 more trades to pass this challenge. If anything good came from last week, I got comfortable taking full losses. The losses were a little bit bigger. Combined, yeah, it sucks, but I know that I can handle it, so it's fine. So I'm okay risking the size that I'm risking, which is great. These 4 bad losses don't have to blow my account. They don't have to blow my mental. I can recover from them. And it just comes back to the 3 R's. Recognize what had happened, go over the data, accept it, reorganize my thoughts for the future. I don't need to be hung up on the past anymore. Every trade is separate. Just because what happened last week happened doesn't mean it's going to happen again this week. And refocus on the upcoming week. I've done my review. I've looked over what happened, and I'm going to try my best not to do it. I'm also going to continue working on these process objectives, stepping away from the charts and allowing the trade to play out. Over this week, I'm going to incorporate a different partialing system. I've hit some really big trades, but I haven't been positioned properly for them. I've taken most of my position off, and I'm not collecting as much profit as I should be on these massive trades that I'm finding. So I'm not 100% certain what that system looks like for me. I've gone through AI, I've gone through my data. I'm kind of thinking, 90% of my position off at 2R and letting 10% ride. Maybe 35% of my trade off at 1.5R, and then another 35% off at 2.5R. To leave me 20% running and just trailing my stop loss or break even. But I do kind of want to make this a static partialing system. I do really like taking partials. It's kind of an ease of mind. But if I'm going to be taking full losses, then I need more from my trades. I think going forward, it's important to add a process objective completion calendar to these videos, not just a P&L calendar. P&L is only half of it. Our mental state is so much more. It's important that I show myself and everybody that I'm actively working on these process objectives every day. So if it's a green process objective day, it's a great mental day, even if the P&L is red. Next week, maybe 2 calendars on these, and we'll see. You know, we got to work on the mindset. Obviously, these emotional losses are still a thing. They might always be a thing, but we've got to limit the frequency of them and the toll they take on me. So yeah, excited for the week coming up. We're gonna crush it. What's in the past is in the past. I'm feeling fresh, ready for the week, and yeah, good luck everybody on the upcoming week.